You running off the road, so get out the way. Push the pedal to the floor, blow 'em all away. Yeah, you see I'm getting close, I accelerate.
Do you want to know what it is?
I won't crash, rolling high.
Plotinus was a Greek philosopher belonging to Platonic tradition. His ideas were popularly utilized during late antiquity, the Middle Ages, and the Renaissance. Plotinus' ideas give us insight into the highest teachings within Plato's philosophy, its aspects which are truly practical and truly powerful. Keep watching until the end and discover the 5 keys enabling the establishment of oneself in eudaimonia, meaning happiness or peace of mind, the final aim of all human pursuit. The Tübingen School's interpretation of Plato argues that the so-called unwritten doctrines of Plato strongly resemble Plotinus' metaphysics. Examining the first generation of students immediately following Plato, it's evident that Plotinus' metaphysics was, already at this time, seen as familiar. Clearly, Plotinus was advancing a tradition of thought that began with Plato himself. This confirms his own view of his ideas, for he considered himself to not be inventing a system, but rather faithfully following Plato's doctrines. For Plotinus, authentic human happiness consists of identifying with that which is the highest in the universe. Because happiness is beyond anything physical, Plotinus emphasizes the idea that worldly fortune could never have any influence in invoking the highest human happiness. Verily, the only person submersed in eudaimonia, the perfect happiness, is solely the man who has command of, and greatly benefits from, the exalted virtues, reason and contemplation. Plotinus explains that happiness is a flight from this world's ways and things, and a focus on the highest, meaning the highest of the forms, or the One. There is a supreme, totally transcendent One, containing no division, multiplicity, or distinction, beyond all categories of being and non-being. His One cannot be any existing thing, nor is it merely the sum of all things, but is prior to all existence. Plotinus identified his One with the concept of good and the principle of beauty. Similarly to Plotinus, Socrates says in discussing the way to perfect happiness, the working of the intellect, being apt for contemplation, is thought to excel in earnestness, and to aim at no end beyond itself, and to have pleasure of its own, which helps to increase the working, and if the attributes of self-sufficiency and capacity of rest and unweariedness, as far as is compatible with the infirmity of human nature, and all other attributes of the highest happiness, plainly belong to this working, this must be perfect happiness. Aristotle illustrates in his own works that well-being, eudaimonia, is only gained by proper development of one's highest and most human capabilities, and that human beings are the rational animal. So then also it is true for Aristotle that eudaimonia for a human being is directly caused by excellence, arete, in reason. These ideas illuminate the truth for us, that the application of our faculties of reason, perfected in the practice of contemplation, is the path opening to us the possibility to lie contented in the ancient state of eudaimonia. The steps in order to attain the highest good, as the philosophers called it, or mystical union with the monad, are clearly divided by Plotinus into 5 phases. Phase 1. Catharsis, self-purification, meaning aphyresis, from any contamination with multiplicity of any thought, knowledge, or mental activity. Phase 2. Mystical self-reversion. The intellect must withdraw backwards and surrender itself to what lies behind it. Phase 3. Autophany, luminous vision of one's own self and self-unification, to become one from many. Phase 4. Annihilation. Phase 5. Union with the One and desubjectification.